Right, this is Minster FM on the Cinder Lane Bridge in York, looking out over York Central. Is it really possible the House of Lords could be there one day? Well, some people are sceptical, some people are excited. We will see. But this is Simon Cartwright, who runs Indigo Green's estate agents. Simon's here to speak to me about the pros and cons of this if it was to happen. So the pros, first of all, house prices are going to go mental, aren't they?
Well, you would suspect that they are. I mean, it's a good, positive story for the city. Obviously, traditionally, it's the first capital of the country, and bringing home the House of Lords, in effect, would be seen as a good thing. We're predominantly a tourist city, and you would expect not only would it bring in the officials from the House of Lords, but it's also going to bring in extra tourists to the city.
So, do you think, is there a percentage in your mind about how much prices could go up?
To be honest, because it's something that is so different to what we're used to, it could be an unprecedented amount, to be fair. It actually could send things rocketing. So whereas we've seen kind of like 25% rise over the last 5 years, you could theoretically see a 25% rise in 2 years.
Which is great if you own a house in the city, isn't it, already? Or you own land or any of that sort of thing. Of course, you'd have to leave
to get the benefits.
Yes.
And that's it. And that's where it would be leaving to go to surrounding villages, maybe, that you would actually be able to, let's say, in effect, cash in.
The surrounding villages are going to be out of a lot of people's price range as well, if this happens, aren't they?
Potentially. You've always got the Golden Triangle side, so the west side of York and the villages out that way, that they are quite pricey as it is. The east and the south side tend to be more affordable. It's whether you have the ripple effect going out towards Pocklington and Selby as well.
So generally then, the cons are local people will be priced out of the market, won't they?
Absolutely. And that's where it comes into play of how it's thought out and how officials actually want to go ahead with things. Because if we're going to bring in the new jobs and effectively new tourism, we need to be able to accommodate them. Without the accommodation, we've got less supply, but a huge number of demand. And where's everyone going to go? That's what's going to rocket the house prices. And
rents as well, which I think is an issue for lower paid workers. At the moment, they're just about manageable in the city. But I mean, you're paying in London £1,500 a month. People can't afford that here, can they?
No, they can't afford that here, because at the end of the day, we have got tourism jobs rather than industry as a rule. Having said that, the rents here have gone up quite staggeringly over the last couple of years especially.
Well, they're interesting though, aren't they? Because the people who are not greedy get long-term tenants. The people who are charging high rents, I'm seeing a lot of turnover in my street every 6 months.
Yep.
There are some reasonable rents, aren't there?
There are some reasonable rents, and there are people out there who are fortunate to have realistic landlords who, let's say, aren't a career landlord. It is a pension pot for them. But there are also career landlords out there who do want to go in line with the market, and as the rental market has been increasing in value, so of the rents to go in line with it.
So, in summary then, good if you own property, not so good if you don't.
And that kind of barrier is increasing as well.
You have to leave to realise your assets.
You do, yeah, absolutely.
Simon, thank you.
Quite all right.